Good morning, students. In this session, we are going to see the second unit in commerce of fourth chapter, that is Financial Market 1. In this fourth chapter, we are going to see about the introduction to financial market. What are the learning objectives of this chapter? We are going to learn about the meaning, definitions of a financial market, scope for an Indian financial market, types, roles, functions and differences between the new issue market and secondary market. Before going to this chapter, first we'll know the meaning, what is meant by the financial market. Financial market is nothing but the transferring of from the investors to the other financial institution, that is a subordinates, that is refers to the last person. This intermediate may be from the surplus funds can be transferred, shares, bonds and other things, debentures can be transferred. So financial assistance refers here is the financial market. The financial market, they may give out the long term or the short term finance. So let us learn the meaning now. Business firms needs a large funds of undertake a desired project, and accumulation of these funds may have the capacity for the reasonable period of time. So for this purpose, governments needs a funds to provide them, and financial market facilitates firms as well as the government to raise the need funds by issuing and selling the different instrument. And it also helps the investors to invest a surplus funds to earn a return. So with the help of a financial market, all kind of business, that is government and the financial institutions, get a financial assistance both for the short term and for the long term. Next, we'll learn according to the Indian financial system, which is classified into organized sector and the unorganized sector. So financial system is classified into two. One is the organized sector, next one is the unorganized sector. And the unorganized financial market with the unorganized sectors consist of money lenders, indigenous bankers, etc. This is very important. Example for an unorganized sector is about the money lenders, indigenous bankers, etc. And flow of funds from suppliers to the users. And let us see this with the help of a chart. Indian financial system is this. It is organized and unorganized we are dividing. Unorganized is the, according to the government will see, that is regulators, financial institutions, financial market and services. Unorganized is nothing but money lenders and the indigenous bankers. Next, we'll see about the meaning and definition of a financial market. A market wherein a financial instrument such as a financial claim, assets and securities are traded, known as a financial market. This is a 2 marks question in the book back. And in other words, it refers to it's a channel through which flow loanable funds from the supplier in excess of an assets towards a demander who experiences the deficits of funds. So this chart also will give you a clear meaning. Just look into financial market is a financial instrument, that is a savers and creditors in this side and the lenders and debtors on the other side. So according to Brigham, that is the place where people and organization wanting to borrow money or bought together with those having a surplus fund, அதாவது இருக்கிறவங்க இல்லாதவங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கிறது தான். And it is organized through two sector, organized and unorganized sectors. Organized ன்னு சொல்றது financial services market, unorganized வந்து money lenders, அடகு கடை அப்படி நம்ம சொல்லுவோம்ல தமிழ்ல, அதுதான். And unlike the other market, it is of an intangible. You know the meaning of intangible, it is invisible. And it is basically refers to the marketplace where buyers and sellers usually participate in an exchange of equities, bonds, derivatives and currencies. You know, equities refers to the shares, bonds, debentures, etc. And it is a market for creations and exchange of financial asset from household savers to the business firms or the financial institution. So let us see this picture. We have a business firms Again it has turned into banks, household and the financial market. Again it returns to the same circle. So it is institutions or arrangement that facilitates the exchange of financial instruments such as equity shares, preference shares and debentures deposits. Debentures depository, it is like a loan which is for in the form of an system, that is will be in the written form with rules and regulations. And corporate stocks and bonds, government bonds and exotic instruments such as an options and future contracts. So let us see what are the scope for the Indian financial market. So finance provides an individuals, agriculture sectors, industry sectors, service sectors and like banks, insurance, provident fund and government. So with the help of these financial market, individual institutions or government get their required fund in time. So what are the types of in financial market? So types of in financial market, on the basis of type of financial claim, we are dividing into two, that is your debt market and the equity market. What is a debt? It is a for trading instruments like government bonds, securities, corporate debentures or bonds. So debt market refers to only for the government bonds and securities, and corporate debentures. I said the differences between the bonds and the debentures. Bonds is nothing but the group. It is for the specific period. Debentures is with the rules and regulations. We are saying it is government bonds is exclusively for the central and the state government. Corporate is for the business. And equity market, it is a market for equity shares of a company. That is shares are mainly divided into two. One is the preference shares and the equity shares. So this is based upon the equity shares of a company. So on the types of financial market, we are dividing into two. One is the debt market, next one is the equity market. So on the basis of financial claim, we are dividing into money market and the capital market. What's a money market means? It is a short term financial claim. You have to note down this point. Money market is a short term financial claim. What are the examples for money market? Short term means it normally will be less than 1 year. Treasury bill, commercial paper, certificate of deposits are the examples. What about the capital market? Means capital is the long run. So money market is a short term, capital market is a long term. Long term means more than 1 year. Example for it is shares and debentures. You have to note these points in your commerce note. Next, on the basis of time of issues, we are dividing into primary and secondary. Primary means it is a new issue market. Secondary means it depends upon the primary. So the primary market is used to include the institutions that are involved in the sale of securities for the first time. It is they are doing the work for the first time. So here the money investors go directly to the users. Secondary means securities that are already issued. Stock exchange is an important institution in secondary market. So example for secondary market here refers to the stock exchange is the best example. You have to note down this point. Next, on the basis of delivery of financial claim, it is divided into cash or a spot market or forward or the future market. What is meant by the cash or a spot? Spot refers to simultaneous, ready. Also, where the delivery of the financial market occurs immediately. Just note down this point. When the cash or the spot is not, it occurs immediately. That is, settlement is completed immediately. Forward or a future, name itself specifies that it is for the future period. So delivery of assets or cash takes place at a predetermined time in the future, and predetermined time is nothing but with the specified time in the future place only, we will carry it as a predetermined. Next, on the basis of a structure of financial market, it is exchange trade market and over the counter trade market. Over the counter trade market is the 2-mark question. OTCI, over the counter market India, and it is a centralized organization with standardized procedure. But over the counter is a decentralized market. There is no outside the stock exchange. This will be done in the inside the stock exchange. Stock exchange refers to selling of a shares selling of shares only is known as a stock exchange. So it is done inside the stock exchange. Over the counter means it is done outside the stock exchange. This is the main difference. And one of the market comes under more than one category. So these are the types of in financial market. Next we move on to the what is the role of in financial market. Role of in financial market, first one is that main thing of a creating of financial market is for the saving mobilization. That is funds from the savers or surplus units can the individuals, household individual, firm, public sector, it's an government is an important role in the financial market. Next is that investment. It plays a very important role in arranging the investment of funds and those units which are in the need of the same. Next is the national point, that is economic point of view. It gives us for the national growth. So nation's growth by ensuring the unfettered flow of a surplus to a deficit unit. So productive purpose is also made possible. So it makes for the overall economic growth is possible. Next is that entrepreneurship goal. Entrepreneurship is goal is nothing but the individualism business. So contributes to the development of entrepreneurial class by making available the necessary financial resources. It is like what is the uses of a financial market? For this is the answer. And industrial development. So component of financial market helps for the growth of industries and for the economic point of view of your country, and by contributing the standard of living of the society overall. So these are the things. First point is about the saving, investment, national growth, entrepreneurship and industrial development. This is the role of a financial market. Next, what are the functions of financial market? We have so many functions here. First, let us see about the intermediary functions. What are the intermediaries? Means transfer of resources. That is, financial market facilitates the transfer of real economic resources from the lenders to the ultimate borrowers. Transfer is not from one person to the other person only, will say as a transfer. And enhancing the income, that is the financial market allows the lenders earn a interest, dividend you know the meaning, you will get it from the shares. If, all the business main motive is about the income only, and surplus investable funds and thus contributing for an individuals and for the national income. Productive usage, it allows a productive use of the funds borrowed, enhancing the income and the gross national production. Capital formation, channels through which new savings flow to the aid capital formation of the country. Next is the price determinations. So price is determined of the traded financial asset through the interactions of the buyers and sellers. They provided for the signal for the allocations of the funds. It is basis upon the demand and supply. You know this concept in the economic. You have know about the price and demand supply of the goods mechanism, which is called as price discovery process. Next is about the sale mechanism. It is it's about the financial assets by the investors to offer the benefits for an marketability and liquidity. Liquidity, the meaning is about transfer of a cash only. Liquidity which can be easily transferred into cash is known as a liquidity. Next, about the information. The activity of the participants in the financial market helps the generations and the consequent disseminations of informations to the various segments. Why? Because to reduce the cost of transaction of an financial assets. So we have learnt about the financial market, the types of financial market, the roles of a financial market, scope, meaning and definitions of a financial market. In this session, let us see in other section what are the differences between the new issue market and the subsidiary market, that is a secondary market differences. Thank you, students.